Octavia Hatcher, the woman who turns her back on the city, the statue that moves at night. For generations in Pikeville, Kentucky, people have repeated the same story. They say that every year, on the anniversary of her death, the statue on her grave slowly rotates, turning its back on her town. But the legend didn't begin with a moving statue. It began in 1891. Octavia Hatcher was 30 years old when she fell into a strange coma. Months earlier, she had given birth to a son. The baby survived only a few days. Shortly after his death, Octavia became ill. Doctors could not determine the cause. In April, her condition worsened, and on May 2nd, she was pronounced dead. It was an unusually hot spring, and embalming was not common, so her burial was carried out quickly. Days later, other people in Pikeville began slipping into similar coma-like states. Research would later suggest a form of sleeping sickness, possibly caused by a biting fly. That's when fear set in. Her husband, James Hatcher, realized something unbearable. What if she had not been dead? An emergency exhumation was carried out, and Octavia's coffin was brought back to the surface and opened. What they discovered was deeply disturbing. The casket had not been sealed airtight. Evidence suggested she may have remained alive for some time after burial, confined beneath the earth. The interior lining of the lid was torn and splintered. Her fingernails were damaged and bloodied, and her face bore scratches, fixed in what appeared to be an expression of panic. It seemed she had awakened inside the coffin, aware, trapped, and unable to escape. James Hatcher erected a tall monument over her grave, a statue of Octavia standing above Pikeville. Over time, the story changed, but the most persistent version of all was that on the anniversary of her death, the statue turns its back on the city that buried her alive. For years, people accepted this as fact. Eventually, it was revealed that local college students had been climbing onto the pedestal at night and physically rotating the statue as a prank. But debunking a legend doesn't end it. Residents living near the cemetery have reported hearing a woman crying in the darkness. Others say they followed the sound toward the Hatcher plot, only for it to stop completely. In the 1990s, the family enclosed the grave with fencing and placed a stone correcting the exaggerated versions of the story, and to this day, it still stands in Pikeville Cemetery. But even now, some refuse to walk past it after dark, convinced her ghost still lingers.